It's one of the reasons why the whole Tyler Robinson mystery is so bizarre, because while he was a leftist, he came from a right-wing family. And I don't know what role faith played in their life. You know, just because you're right-wing doesn't necessarily mean you're a family of faith. But I do think that the more you remove faith from your life, the more you replace it with false gods like wokeism, which is extremely damaging. It's basically the same thing as catching, not that it's contagious, but I mean as getting anorexia, like a disease that will eat you away from the inside. You do it to yourself. You kill yourself day by day by day by choice, by believing in things that aren't true. That's what these kids suffer from. That's the collectivism. And then, if you fill up that space with a belief in God, in Jesus, in being redeemed from sin, and also just belonging to a community, then you don't have the need to turn to Antifa to work out your need to feel like you belong. Now, every time I see one of these kids out there, and we always get inevitably the follow-up piece on how they're all rich, how they all have endless supply cards at Starbucks, and they have expensive laptops. Here's some of the fire that we saw last night at the event. Don't know exactly what that is, but not exactly a peaceful protest. They're all rich. They're all privileged. 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you the parents are paying no attention to them. They're really just ornaments, like you'd see on a fancy car hood. And so they need this. They need to go out there and do something crazy to make themselves feel like they matter. I mean, if we're really talking this through, it comes down to a basic parenting fucking fail, right? Like, stay in touch with your kid, have family dinners, go to church, stay on top of his well-being, including and arguably especially when he goes away to college. And by the way, the Tyler Robinson situation, if he goes away to college and winds up living with a trans furry who's allegedly famous for growing mold in plastic Tupperware containers throughout the apartment and hoarding to the place where he looks like he's living in a dumpster or an actual landfill, maybe get more involved in checking on his wellness. I mean, truly, the well-being of society depends on it.